What's going on YouTube, fellow traders? OG Camo coming at you, and just finished recording I've actually finished, just went live. Did a daily live trade recap Thursday or so, and figure, you know what, let me go ahead and record this bonus video. Basically, this doesn't have anything to do with trading, but it has everything to do with trading and has everything to do with everything. What do I mean by that? Basically, everybody knows, you always hear about psychology of trading. Well, what about the psychology of learning? How do you learn? How do you master anything? Because great philosophers and Buddhist monks and stuff, they always talk about, I'm not afraid of the 10,000 punches that you know, but I'm afraid of the punch that you have practiced 10,000 times. We all start trading, we try to follow these gurus and, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and you try to incorporate all these different strategies into one instead of developing one strategy and sticking to it over and 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 over again until you master it. And that's true for anything. You cannot become a great artist, you cannot become a great musician, you can't become a great chef, you can't become great at anything unless you've practiced it enough. In other words, when you get behind the wheel of an automobile for the first time, you're probably scared, you're probably nervous, you're probably going to wreck your car if nobody teaches you. But after through practice and practice, you know, next thing you know, you're driving with one finger and no hands, and you're driving with your knees, and you're eating, you're drinking coffee, you're watching YouTube and all this stuff simultaneously, and you've been doing it for the last 20 years and you haven't got in an accident. Don't recommend that. Not that I'm doing that or anything, but you kind of get the point. You have to practice it, and if you're not taking the time to develop a single strategy so you can practice that single strategy, you are never going to, you're going to become one of the 98% that fails. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw it over to my screen here, and we are going to digest how is anything learned. Awesome. I'm not too much in the way here. Might have to slide the screen over or something a little bit, but basically there's 4 phases of learning. No matter what it is, everybody has to understand that there is more that you don't know than you don't know. What do I mean by that? You don't know what you don't know. In other words, when you first started coming in trading, you may not have a clue about how to even start a prop firm, sign up for a prop firm, much less trade futures. You may not know how to get a Weebles account or get a broker's account. What the frick is a broker? What do they do? How do I use TradingView? Can I trade futures with TradingView? All this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you don't know because you haven't been exposed to it. So everybody starts at this basic level. Level number 1 here. You are unconsciously incompetent of what you don't know. You can't be a master of anything that you don't know. You don't even know that you like doing it until you've been exposed to it. You probably didn't know you wanted to be a chef or be a construction worker until you made a grilled cheese sandwich, and wow, that was pretty freaking good. That was easy. Or you smacked your first beat your first nail on a board, or the first brush stroke on the canvas, or whatever it is that you've chosen. Or maybe you've taken your first trade and made $1 or so. But everybody starts at the unconscious incompetence, and our goal is to get exposed to something and move over to the next phase, which is the conscious incompetence. Now you know what you don't know. You started a prop firm, but now you don't know how to become profitable. How do I place a trade? How do I get out of a trade? So there's some things that you don't know that you need to know to become a successful trader. I like to call this the Z factor. This Z factor is what Team Alpha, and this isn't to brag about Team Alpha, and this isn't even a recruiting video to get you to come over to Team Alpha. This is a video letting you know that you will become the 5 people that you associate the most with. If you want to become successful, find somebody who's successful at what you want to do and follow them. Grab a hold of their coattails and do what they did until you learn how to do it. You can do it on your own. The more that you get exposed to it, whether it be books, videos, YouTube is an awesome freaking library to learn anything you want. I removed the engine out of one of my pickup trucks watching YouTube videos. Now I probably should have washed it a couple more times, because when I put it in, I blew the engine. But you know, I actually took it out and put it back in myself. What it did after that, oops. But I did it. So you become conscious of what you don't know, and as you begin your journey into trading, every time you place a trade, you learn something else that you didn't know, and then another else that you didn't know, then something else you didn't know. Hey, that candle did this, and then it did this, and it went down. Why did it do that? So now I need to learn why it didn't do that. So I'm incompetent. I'm conscious that I don't know why it did that. News came out and this sucker rocked up here and I missed this big trade. Why did I miss that big trade? Why did it react like that? There's something here that I don't know that I need to know. So then we go over here to the third phase, which is a conscious competence. This phase is you've taken enough trades, you know, and this is where I'm at. You know what you're doing. You may not have all 100% confidence in yourself, but you consciously know what you're doing. You consciously are thinking about the trade. All right, where am my stop loss going to be? Where is my take profit going to be? Why am I taking this trade? You're consciously thinking about it before you hit the order button. You're constantly thinking about the before and after effects of this trade, and you're constantly thinking about the results, what could be the results. This is a great place to be, because once you start getting into the conscious competence, you'll start making money. Here you're definitely not making any money. Here you may be losing some money, hard to tell. Here you're going to start making this $100 gains at a time, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, 20 bucks, whatever it is. You start making a little bit of money, and every time you make money, you learn from it. But more importantly, every time that a trade goes against you, you learn from it. You're consciously thinking about the trade. Over here, when you're consciously incompetent, you may be just FOMOing into a trade, doing momos, momentum trades, which I was doing, which took my funded account from zero balance up to almost $2,000 or so, qualify for a payout. And now it's back down to 800 because those momentum trades went against me, and I lost big 4 trades in a row. It really rocked my psychology, rocked my confidence. So I was like, oh, got a punt, go back to the drawing board. What is it that I don't know? Now I'm over here in this phase of conscious competence. I'm not breaking my rules. I have rules. I have a trading plan. I keep a journal. I'm consciously thinking about every trade. If it doesn't look right, I would rather not take the trade and lose money than take a trade and lose money and take a confidence hit. And after a while, we'll get over here into this final phase, which is the unconscious incompetence. It's autopilot. This is when you have made it. You are making the big bucks. This is when, pull over to your show profits in our Discord. When you start seeing the 2,000, the 5,000, the 10,000, the $80,000 payouts, the $1 million payouts, because they've done it so long. That's 10,000 punches. They practice that one punch 10,000 times. It's become autopilot. It's ingrained. They don't have to think about the trade anymore. When they see a candle move a certain direction, boom, they're in it. They don't think about it. They know exactly where the stop loss is going to be, and they know exactly where they're going to exit. It's just autopilot. They have more wins than they do losses, and the wins are a lot bigger than their losses. That's where we ultimately want to get to, is being unconsciously competent of whatever it is, in which, of course, this program is all about trading, more importantly, trading futures, I guess. But we all have to start here, and it's hard to get even to here unless you have mentorship, somebody who's going to teach you how to get here. Because you can watch YouTube videos and it kind of pieces it together, but chances are you'll watch a YouTube video, you'll try it, and it won't work for you. Then you go back to here and you look for some more, go back here. So you're consciously incompetent all the time. You never become competent at anything. So if you have a mentor and say, hey, this is a single plan, what fits in your schedule? How do you want to trade? Do you want to be a scalper, or do you want to hold a little bit longer, take smaller position size but hold longer, not have to worry about managing a trade, not being glued to your computer all day waiting for the right setup? You can just set alerts on your screen when it gets to your zones or whatever. You just place an entry and continue to take trades like that until you master it. And then once you master one strategy, go back, research, and develop a second strategy. So now you have two strategies that's working for you. So maybe have a strategy for the evening sessions and a strategy for the morning sessions. A strategy for the New York Open versus a strategy for after 11 o'clock or so. Strategies they're unlimited. You can go on YouTube and I mean, everybody's got a strategy. Everybody's got some type of niche. 100% success rate. I mean, clickbait stuff. Don't get me started on that. There is no such thing as a 100% success rate. You're going to fail, but you have to fail enough to succeed enough to go through these 4 phases. So, and then you tie this in with your trading before you take a trade. You need to be unconsciously competent of taking this trade. You know, when it hits this zone, boom, I'm in right here, and let it go. When it hits this zone, boom, I'm in right here, and you let it go. But if you're not competent, you may see this little rejection here, or this little pop up, and then go in the wrong direction. Oh, look at it. This big candle right here. I'm going long, and it just goes against you. So, what does all that mean? It means I didn't move my screen, and I don't know if you saw the whole bottom left, bottom right panel. Well, anyways, it's unconscious competence, but that's where we ultimately want to get to. Is we want this to be autopilot. We want to not have to think about what we're doing. I got a nice little flame on my hat here, but and just have fun with it. No, you're not going to get it. You are going to be red days. Probably a lot more red days and green days when you first start off. If you're lucky. If you're not lucky and you start off on fire and you just green day after another, gives you this false sense of security that you got this plan that's absolutely fail safe, and then you take a big hit and you're like, holy crap. So you may be consciously competent for a while, and then you take this big loss and you jump back over into that consciously incompetent, like, uh-oh, something ain't working here. Which where I was like, man, I'm good. I'm bragging on Discord, stuff like that. First payout and all this stuff, and then smack in the face 4 times in a row. I'm like, oh, I better punt. Let's go back and do some more research. Well, that dude, I just want to throw this bonus video out, incorporate that at the end of this program. It's been a blast sharing this stuff with you. Hope you get a lot out of it. And I look forward to seeing you in Discord, and hit me in the comments. Let me know what you're, if you having any success with this stuff. I want to help as many people as I can. I'm not in this. I'm in it to win it, but I'm in it to help lift everybody else up. Rising tide lifts all ships. Put the good juju out there to get the good juju to come back. Law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, law of reciprocity. In other words, yeah, some big words. Yeah, I'm actually a published author. I wrote a self-help book a while back. I always talked about the law of attraction and all this stuff, and what to do when there's no noise. Turn the noise off, basically. The book was called The Quiet. I don't even know if it's available on Amazon anymore. Wrote it. I got laid off, so I wrote a book. You go figure. Anyways, man, it's a blast, and look forward to hearing your success stories. Later.